thought, you know, like any girl, I thought I had something that no other girl had. And, you know, I might walk by a certain way and make it known that, hey, I'm interested.
These are dream rules. This is someone else. I'm not myself. No.
Good morning, y'all. We are on to the next day. Getting ready to do some breakfast meal prepping, because when I tell you I done fell off the wagon, what wagon? What wagon even? I know that girl in the locker room gonna be talking to me crazy till I step to her again. I already know that. So you just gotta keep looking until I step to you, right? Until I just step right up on you, you know. Girl, come on, let's get this over with. And when I step to her, she gonna have a lot more to say than I want her to say. But we're gonna roll with it anyway. A couple of y'all, I had my perfumes on the live that I opened, and a couple of you were wondering about what scents and what dupes and all of that. Girl, I didn't know, but I saved the cards. So I got Fruity Almond, which is inspired by Carolina Herrera's Good Girl. Love that scent. I got the Woody Hyacinth, which I'm pretty sure I said then is a dupe of Chanel's Chance. So I got a couple of those. It was the Fruity Neroli that was confusing most of us, including myself, because I didn't even know what that was. But it's a dupe of Giorgio Armani's My Way. And shout out to Shell. She was telling me also that that's what that was. I appreciate you, and I love that fragrance. And then, of course, I got the Ambery Cherry, which is Tom Ford's dupe of Lost Cherry. That's for anyone who was watching the live, and for anyone who wasn't, why you wasn't? Huh? It's still there. Go on and catch up on it. But anyway, I'm putting on my bonnet now because when I cook, I like to have dishwater ready so I can just wash and go along the way, because I am not that person who enjoys the cleanup process, and I can't stand to leave it later. The bonnet fitting real big now. I don't know what that is, because I sure washed it. It smells so good. It smells daddy fresh. But anyway, I turned on the camera too because last night I was, cozying up my spot a little bit. I decided to not film each and everything just because it takes me longer, and you all have seen me cozy up my house or room before, because that's really all I was cozying up my bedroom. And baby, I used the same stuff that I had before. The only new thing I bought was the curtains. That's it. But other than that, that room is looking real same-ish. And I'm okay with that. Just a little bleach as usual. Now the funny thing is, and I don't even understand it, this might have to do with that, what is that diet called when you eat a lot of meat? Keto. I don't know if this has something to do with that keto type of diet or whatever, but I noticed that, first of all, when I eat my egg bites, I'm full for much longer in the day, even if I include bacon and or sausage with it. That makes no sense to me. But somehow that works out. I had tried this thing, y'all, where I took some pie crust, rolled it even flatter, and put it in my muffin tin to make it, instead of just an egg bite, like a mini quiche, and that came out really, really good. But in the spirit of cutting back on carbs, I'm not gonna do that this time. We're gonna make regular egg bites. Sausage, and bacon. And don't pay no attention to all my mismatched pans. Food come out good anyway. I keep saying I'm gonna get some pretty dishes since I do so much talking in the kitchen, but then I don't. So I guess I keep lying to y'all. I'm sorry. But anywho, make the noise. Put it aside. I'm lining these pans because, honey, I'm really leaning into my convenience era. I really am. Don't be surprised if y'all start hearing me talk about a cleaning service coming through, because I don't know. Plus, I want to learn some more tips and tricks of the trade. But yeah, I'm getting to a point where let me go on and bless somebody's business and let them make this money off of me. No, I'm lying. I'm not about chopped peppers. I must not have looked deep enough. Let me check that again. Why'd I almost toss the eggs on the counter? Oh, my feelings would have been hurt. All right, I knew I had to have some more peppers in there. Got my peppers. I got some jalapeno peppers I'm gonna put in here too. Somebody told me that when you eat spicy foods, it activates your metabolism and also helps you lose weight. I wonder how true that is. Run down to Popeyes and get that spicy sandwich. That's what I've really been craving lately. Will that hurt? Will I still lose weight, sugar? Something's telling me it don't really work like that. I'm not slapping the spinach down like I'm mad at it because it ain't a sandwich. I saw the spinach. Anywho, last night, as I was finishing up decorating my room, I got a phone call from yet another gentleman. And can I say this for my single ladies out here? Go on and get you a Google number. Yeah, go on and get on Google, assign that phone number to your phone. That's for even those men who, girl, have you ever been out and about, you give somebody your phone number and he'll call it and look you dead in your face like it needs to ring? Yeah, it'll ring. It sure enough will. But when you get done with that fella, as my track record is starting to make me feel like that's what I'm doing a lot of, I'm getting done with folks. And honey, they can even get done with me. That don't hurt my feelings. But as soon as you're done with him, you're done with that number. Because nowadays, it used to be that I get finished with somebody, let's turn on the oven while I'm running my mouth. I would get finished with somebody and I go ahead and change my number like that. But now it's an inconvenience because I have so many things and apps and stuff tied to that phone number that it's just much easier to get that Google phone number and let it be done. When you're done, let that number be done too. But anyway, getting back to this gentleman, baby, let me just say this. Anytime you give me an opportunity to either be humbled or fumbled, please know I'm choosing fumble every time. I want you to fumble me each and every single time. Don't feel bad about it. Don't look back, because I sure ain't. We ain't looking back. But let's just get into this scenario that just happened to me yesterday. While I was minding my business in my bedroom, putting my things together to make it a more cozy, comfortable space. But who? For me. For me, I'm not worried about anybody else. Yellow is a fairly feminine color. So clearly, I'm not worried about, oh, this is gonna look good to attract my Mr. So-and-so. I'm glad that I know that I'm open to it, but baby, we're not just open to any old body. That's still not gonna fly. So anywho, I get a call, and he was kind of like, I haven't heard from you lately. I said, oh, well, how you doing? You know, as soon as he said that, I wasn't even tripping. I'm like, let's just get on into the conversation. Because surely you haven't called to ask me why I haven't called. Do you hear how dumb that sounds? Why would you call somebody to ask them why they haven't called? They haven't called because they haven't wanted to. You know, and it's not even like something's wrong with them. I'm not that woman who's really into pursuing men. I just don't. When you know who you are and all of those things and what your role is, and yes, I've said it before, I am a sexist woman. So I do feel like men and women are to complement each other. We are not to compete with each other. There are certain roles that men have that I just don't have. Sorry, I was running that water and I know that was loud. Uh-oh, did I not plug my sink up? Looks like my water's draining. But anyway, what I was saying is I'm not into pursuing men. It's not even something I feel comfortable in. And then what kind of man would want me to pursue him? The only kind of man I can think of is a feminine man. And that is not attractive to me, people. I don't be feeling it that way. I'm gonna tell you though, this Appleton Farm bacon, thick slice, Applewood, it's good. It's actually good. I get it from Aldi. But anyway, he was just saying that, oh, and then he further insulted me. But he first started off with, why haven't I called him, things like that. He's shown me the initial interest, and it's kind of up to me to pick it up, after the hashtag Me Too movement. Like when I tell you, he was setting off so many red flag alarms in his conversation, and I was being quiet. And I think he thought I was being quiet because, I'm in agreement with him, or he's teaching me something, he's enlightening. No, I'm being quiet because I believe in letting you talk yourself right on out. And he did. He did that very well. Dang. I feel like I kind of want to cook. Do I want to cook all the bacon? I guess not. No, I'll just cook that much bacon. I'll put the rest of this back in the fridge. Let's put this over here in the fridge section as well. But anyway, he was just talking about how he feels that, I can't even remember how he got to it. There's a whole lot of it I wasn't paying attention to, honey. I'm hammering, drilling, doing what I'm doing, putting my room together. But he got to a point where he was like, he feels that my dating mentality, and then he put it like this, that's what it was. He said, I feel like since you haven't been out on the market much, you divorced and things like that, I don't understand how times have changed. Things are different now. And I'm still operating with my 30-ish-year-old mindset where the men were really on the chase, and it's not like that. He said, once upon a time, back in the day, it was men and women, women really had the advantage. Men were on the chase and things like that. They had a broader selection. Now, as women have gone through life experiences, and like in your case, divorce, they are learning that they really don't have the advantage in the way that they thought they did. He didn't use the words, they're the prize, but that's all I kept hearing as he was talking. So he was like, they don't have the advantage like they thought they did. Oh, and did I mention he FaceTimed me? See, okay, let me tell you this. FaceTime to me is a thing of permission. Like it feels a little invasive to me for someone to just bust out and FaceTime you. So maybe that's where things started off rocky for him. Because first he FaceTimed me, reject. You didn't ask me about that. Like, don't just immediately get into FaceTiming. So after he FaceTimed me, I rejected it. I went on with doing what I was doing. Then he had did he call or text? He texted. He texted and asked if I was busy. I mean, not particularly. What I was doing didn't prevent me from talking, but I didn't want to FaceTime. So I said, no, not really. So then he called me. When he called me, that's when I told him my FaceTime expectation. So maybe I'm behind in that. FaceTime is the new phone call, is it? Y'all let me know, because I could be wrong. But I told him, no, when you just immediately FaceTime me, that feels awkward to me. It's one thing if you're my man or something, and I said, but we're not at that point. And things like that. He said, well, how would we ever get to that point? I don't know. That's not my concern, babe. I'm not concerned with you and I getting to that point. But anyway, he asked me if he could FaceTime me. I said, yeah, okay, that's fine. Went ahead and let him FaceTime me, and that's when I could see him doing this imbalance and balancing stuff. So anyway, he said that as women have gone through life circumstances and all that stuff and a divorce, then it starts to level out. Men are making more money. We've gotten more savvy. A lot of us have more homes, which I don't think that's true. I think it's still true that the vast majority of homeowners are Black women. It's because this is a Black man I was dealing with. And you notice I already put that in past tense, baby. That's in the rearview mirror, and I don't look back. I don't. I'm driving straight ahead, looking forward. But anyway, he had said that, it's starting to level out and things like that. And my mentality is still from back in the day where I feel like men should be chasing me and all of that. Okay. Now, was insulting me supposed to make me get on board? Was it supposed to humble me and make me fall in line or something, get in formation? That's not what I'm doing. It just has the absolute opposite effect for me. And so I don't know if somebody out there needs to hear this or not. But baby, every single time when you are given a choice between being humbled and being fumbled, I beg of you, I implore you, please choose being humbled. And I know at this stage of the game, a lot of women are simply choosing to not date at all. I haven't gotten there. I'm not gonna lie to you, I was wondering if I was getting there. But like I said, I talked with another gentleman earlier that let me know, you know what, yep, I actually am open to dating. I'm still not open to this foolishness though, but I am open to dating. And I think that's significant enough for me. So if dating isn't something in which you're interested, I get it, but I think I am. I'm open to it. And honestly, with the hiccups even set aside, I'm actually having fun with it. I enjoy it. Even if it's solo dating, sometimes I enjoy those as well. I should double up this last egg. How did I get myself to a point where I have one egg left? I don't know if y'all can see that in my carton. But yeah, I thought that was absolutely absurd. I'm operating in my 30s. Oh dang it, I still didn't plug this thing in. Okay, let me just try the disposal plug. There we go. And quit playing games with y'all. Now I gotta make more dishwater. I'm getting on my own nerve at this point. Ooh, I love the way that steams. Put my one egg back in the refrigerator. I don't even have one of those egg carton things, which I figured why get it since I just put the whole egg carton thing in here. I need to go to the store, get some more oranges and pineapple because the way I've been on this orange, I've been juicing, right? And I've been juicing oranges, pineapples, and ginger. That is so good. I mean, oh. I reached a point last night where I reached past my wine bottle to get to that juice. And I'm gonna tell you, that's a testimony for me. That might, oh yeah, that's a testimony. It's just that good. They say that that's supposed to be a very good immune boosting combination. Oranges, pineapples, and ginger. If you haven't tried it, please do. In my tea, I like to mix a little turmeric in as well. I don't know, I like kick. Ginger does have a bit of kick if you're not familiar with it. And it doesn't sound like that should be good. Orange juice with a kick, but it is. It really is. I've never tried it in a mimosa. I know somebody might ask me that, but no. I haven't tried doing it in a mimosa, but I'm not opposed to it. I got my little fork that I sure lifted from Walmart. You know that little area where they have the rotisserie chicken and stuff? I did. I got me some plastic forks from there. I don't really eat off of plasticware and paper plates and stuff like that. I think because I grew up with not a lot, that it's hard for me to see throwing away dishes day after day. But I can get it for the convenience. That does make sense. I'm using this plastic one just because I don't want to scratch up my muffin tin. I've used my mixer before. It's not bad, but I feel like it doesn't do as good of a job. It's really just for liquids, not these thick eggs. But yeah, clearly I am working out of a 30-year-old's mentality. That is just a real nice, nasty way of saying I am immature. I'm not with the program or the game. I'm not with the games. He's right about that. I'm not with that at all. But when he said that, I had to ask him, does that work on anyone? Has that worked for you, sir? Because it's not working now, I can tell you that. Easily. The way he said that so confidently, and with his whole illustrations, made me feel like that must be working on somebody. I feel like my audience, my friends, y'all are too smart for that. But just in case somebody is new here and just stopping by, please don't let that work on you. That's that dumb stuff. I think there was a gentleman who has since passed away who was always spreading that kind of negative message and stuff to women. I think that it got popular and grew legs because a small percentage of what they might say could be true. And that little, say 10% of truth allowed about 90% of BS to get by the average person. Have people really thinking and believing and buying into that stuff. And I'm just not there. And if me not being there means that, oh girl, you know how you was cool with dating and you know, being open to the possibility? You're not gonna get anybody? If that's what that means, then that's fine. But to me, that's just a nice, nasty way of saying I need to lower my standards. and I'm not willing to do it. And I don't want you to do it either. There is someone who believes just as I believe. He just hasn't found me yet. And he don't have to find me. He's gonna have to do most of the calling and all of that for me. Because, I mean, first of all, there's just something appealing and sexy about a hunter. You know, someone who gets up and gets it. I don't want no laid back, chill man waiting on me to, what a turn off. Oof. If it looks like I'm putting a whole bunch of veggies in here, I am. I basically use the egg just to hold all my vegetables together. Might as well call it a veggie bite. But this is just how I like it. I almost forgot my jalapeno. Heh, speak of the devil. Wonder what he want with my 30-year-old self. And that's what I'm gonna have to do too. I'm gonna have to wonder because I'm not responding to that. I guess he's also not used to that either. I was like, oh, okay, I'm good on this then. Bless his heart. That does remind me I need to get rid of that Google number, get another one. Thank you, I appreciate you reminding me of that. I didn't do it last night. But anywho, yeah, this might as well be called a veggie bite for all the veggies I put in it, and I love it this way. It really doesn't require any seasoning by the time I put all that in there, but I add seasoning to it as an extra. I started on this little Tony's no salt and have never looked back. I've always liked a little pepper. Okay, a lot of pepper. After I said that, I'm looking at me shaking. Might look like a lot. There we go. And we mix it up again. Really, all we're doing is pushing the veggies down in there. These are so good, y'all. If you like eggs at all, I promise you should try this. And this is such an easy grab and go kind of thing. It's even good for you people who work from home. I'm so jealous of y'all sometimes. Oh, the more I stay at home, the more I want to. I still like my getting out and about, don't get me wrong. I should say the more I stay at home, the less I want to go into my job. I did virtual teaching for a year after COVID. That was not bad at all. When I tell you that was the cleanest, neatest my house had ever been, I mean that. But anyway, getting back to this 30-year-old mentality of mine, I absolutely rebuke that because there are so many things that I have learned over my decades of life, my decades of being an adult, not just of life, but of being an adult in this life. Honey, the whole notion that he tried to sell me, I'm in my 30s, foolishness, absolute and utter foolishness. And it also was telling of why he's the way he was. Clearly, he was that guy on the chase. Clearly, he was someone who was not getting a lot of women and things like that. And he just, honestly, he feeds into my theory. I've told you all that back in the day, I used to date bad boys and things like that. You were either dating a baller or a baller. Those are the guys who got most of the attention. But I've always been kind of an equal opportunity person. I think I shared with you before that I'm also pretty much a nerd. I took advanced and AP classes and stuff like that when I was in high school. So that gave me proximity to other boys who were like-minded. And I've always been attracted to very intelligent men and boys. But the thing is, I think back then they didn't really have the confidence to approach me. They didn't have, or any girl for that matter, but they didn't have the swag. They didn't have that, that je ne sais quoi that made them feel confident enough to approach women. And since they didn't approach, they didn't get the girls. Who did were the bad boys. So that's actually who I ended up dating because I wasn't really on the chase then either. You know what I mean? Like, I thought, like any girl, I thought I had something that no other girl had. And, I might walk by a certain way and make it known that, hey, I'm interested. But as far as knowing how to just full on pursue, and I didn't have that skill then, and I don't want it now. So him talking about that just made me kind of think, yeah, you're that guy who really didn't get the girl back then. And now that you have money, and he does, he has multi-millions of dollars. He's a fairly established gentleman. But like I said before, that the fact that you have a high net worth doesn't mean that you yourself are of high value and worth. Those two, for some reason, just keep getting confused. I keep hearing men talking about, I'm a high value man. No, your net worth may be high value. You, my sir, may not be worth a dime. You just may not be worth a dime. And that's what I'm feeling in the case of this guy. And I promise you, I'm not making this up, bragging, anything like that. This is a guy who does have a decent amount of coin. Nice, Googleable, all the things that you would do to check it out. And if I were to tell you, you'd be like, oh, okay, yeah, she's standing on business on that. But he actually, yeah. But that's still not enough. Like, there is no unhappiness for me. There is no unhappiness like being in a relationship or a marriage where you don't feel valued, where you're not happy. Like that, I've said it before, and I kid you not, that was the absolute loneliest point of my life. The way I'm feeling now in my singlehood, my second adulthood, because I mean, honestly, when I was an adult before, I was raising someone. I was a mother. This is the first time I've been an adult, footloose, and fancy free. I don't even so much as have a dog I gotta come home, feed, take out, get to us. I don't have any of those responsibilities. So I'm feeling pretty good right now. I am open to the idea of dating someone, but baby, when I do, you're gonna have to add to my life and not take 1 ounce away. That allow me to add to your life as well and not take 1 ounce away. But getting back to this high value stuff, let me tell you this. Years ago, when I was earlier in my 20s dating, I dated a guy, and I'm just gonna say it, and I don't like, listen, let me tell you, you spare yourself the judgment. One thing about opening yourself up to people is they also feel that opens you up to judging. I'm okay with elaborating on some stuff, but I'm really not going to explain a lot of stuff to you. So at one stage of the game, as a teacher, we used to have the pro athletes would come in and they would read stories and stuff to kids and da-da-da-da. All right, so in that spirit of things happening, I met someone who happened to be a professional athlete. Nope, I'm not a cleat chaser at all. That's all I'm going to say on that. So we're dating and things seem cool. Chiefs didn't have a very good season that year, so it ended kind of early. Nothing like what we got now, but it ended kind of early. And I go home with the guy. Well, first of all, let me go back to the high value part. While we're in the dating phase, we go on a double date with one of his coworkers or teammates, whatever you want to call it. So we're on a double date. His teammate is actually the boyfriend of someone that we're going on a date with, whereas he and I were just dating. Not hooked into that long-term relationship stuff. They were. We're on this date, and he asked her if she wanted to pay for the tip or what. I heard him, like he said it softly, but I could hear him. We're sitting at the same table. He was like, you want to pay for the tip or what? Like she had to pay for something. And I thought that is the craziest, weirdest thing. I can't even remember what she did for a living. But whatever it was, clearly it wasn't paying millions like his job did, right? So just like me, as a teacher, which one of us is making the most money? Clearly it's him, which I also think is strange. We would go places, and because he was an athlete, tons of the stuff we would get would be free. Tons of the meals we would eat would be free. Now, who do you think could afford it more, him or my broke self? And you would think, oh yeah, they're giving it to him free because they want to take a picture, put it up on the wall. No, it was just free. Just with no obligation or expectation, he was eating for free. I was eating good too. I ain't gonna lie, I was ordering up stuff I would have had it never. Listen, I digress. So anyway, we're on the double date, and he's talking about is she gonna pay for the tip or something like that, which we thought was weird, But the guy was touch my leg under the table, like, don't even go there, don't say nothing. Okay, cool. I'm the queen, I can keep it quiet. for a minute. So we ate, we went to a movie, and then afterwards we just walking around on the plaza, little area here in Kansas City. And he starts talking about how he feels that women should contribute to, bills and things like that, regardless of the balance of who makes what amount of money. And I thought, that is crazy. So even before I had the terms of provider, men, and all that stuff, I knew then that there are men who just don't have that mindset. And he was that guy. Here he is making, I'm not gonna say easily. When I say easily making, because I'm clearly saying it. When I say he's easily making millions of dollars, I mean he's clearing quite a bit of money. And he still wants her to pay. I don't care if it is for a tip. I don't care if it's for a phone bill or why? Why are you insisting on that? Is she not adding to your life in other ways? So when we're driving alone, I asked the guy that I was with, I was like, so what do you think about what he said? He was like, I think it's BS. That doesn't make sense. All I want my woman to do is be there for me, provide safety, da-da-da-da. So I was like, okay, cool. He's talking right. I like the way that sounds. Until, like I said, Chiefs didn't do well that season. We ended up going to his family's place, meet the relatives. I'm telling you, it was not that serious. And the more I talk, it sounds like it was, but it was not that, in my mind, at least, serious. But we go, I meet his family. He was like, it'll be a real cool, chill thing. I was like, okay, cool. Here's what I learned. Speaking of learning lessons, and I know I ain't in my 30s, I learned always have your ticket in your hand so that when you are ready to go, you can go. This sounds like a duh in 2000s and something, but back then this wasn't the 2000s. I'm in the 50s, do the math. So we go on this trip, and I cannot even remember what it was he exploded on. But when I say exploded, hit the table and just started yelling, and it was like, what was that? I was the only one that had that reaction. I was the only one looking like, what the heck just happened? Everybody else was like, oh, okay, pass the mashed potatoes. Can I get the cornbread? Baby, I never wanted to leave so fast in all of my life, but I didn't have the ticket in hand. That was one of the lessons I learned as I walked away from him. I'm telling you, as soon as my feet touched down in Kansas City, he and I were done. Absolutely done. I didn't even act up on the plane ride. I was quiet. I just saw you explode like that. So even on the plane ride, I was quiet. But as soon as we touched down, I was like, listen, yeah, this isn't going to work for us. I can't, because this is before we even knew about CTE and all the other things. I knew then money is not enough to make me stay. He didn't hit anyone. He didn't, but he hit that table. Now the table took it. The table took that beating, but he didn't actually hit any. I just knew somehow this ain't gonna go well. And to his credit, I've never heard about him being in the news and things like, he's long retired, but I never heard about him being in the news and things like that afterwards. But I will also say this, as far as it relates to professional athletes, by the time you hear about someone really acting up, 9 times out of 10, they've been doing a whole lot of stuff. A whole lot of stuff that the league has already swept under the rug. So don't ask me how I know, just understand that I ain't lying to you. I'm telling you what I know, I'm not telling you what I think. But anyway, I learned then money is not enough to keep me. So now as he's talking about, the balance has shifted and all, for who? It has not shifted for me. I am on a teacher's budget, but I budget very well. When I tell you, Kymberly is not lacking for stuff on her own. You may see me doing without. You may see me shop in my garage. That's a choice. I could go to the store. I could buy some things. You may see me, cutting back here and there, doing my own nails, doing my own hair. It's because I want to. I can afford to go and get, you know what I'm saying? Do you see where I'm going with this? So for a man to come into my life, he's honestly going to have to be able to add and not take anything away. Not my pride, not my esteem. He's not going to humble me. He's not doing any of those things that are going to make me feel like, well, he right. I ain't in my 20s. Things don't sit up like they used to. They don't. But this has gotten all the better and all the sharper. So he even said something to the effect about how older men can date younger women. It's just not even a big thing. Whereas older women, and we really can't. Says who? Who told you? So who told you that? Younger men still do approach. They actually do. So all the stuff that he was saying, and then I really hit him with, I was like, statistically speaking, everything you're saying is absolutely wrong. If you ask, there are multiple surveys, multiple data out there that says happiest women are those who are single. Happiest men are those who are married. So you can already see where there's an issue there. So for me to come down from my singlehood, and I don't mean to say come down like it's really just a negative thing. Let me just say over. Because in my mind, a happy marriage and a happy single life, they're really just the same. But for me to move from being happily single to ever married again, because he asked me, do I ever see myself getting married again? I don't see myself not getting married again. I'm not saying that's an impossibility, but I'm just saying for me to shift over, there are going to have to be so many things in alignment. And humbling me, that's not going to be one of those things ever. But I'm 30-something mentally, okay. I guess that's why them 30-year-old men be approaching. Huh. Sound like food. Camera just making a crazy sound. Well, let this be the end of days now. What about our new camera?